Hi everybody, it's Anne-Marie here for Scrapbooking with Me's Boutique. I wanted to share with you the mini album that I created for the with the kit in August. I did come a few weeks ago and show you the tutorial on how I did the cover. I'm just coming back now to show you the completed album. If you want complete instructions on how to do the cover, then you could go over to my YouTube, Annie's Stamping Corner, and you will see the step-by-step tutorial on how I did the cover. I'm going to explain it a little bit, and I'm going to show you the completed album, what's inside. So let's get started. So on the front of the cover, I did this in the mixed media. I've never really done a mixed media album per se. I've done canvases, I've done cards, I've done a lot of things like that, but I've really never done an actual mini album. Since this was a mixed media book, I did not utilize all the pages. I will show you that I had some left, and I'll probably incorporate these into something else. And this is what I had left, a few of these. I wanted to do this with different things, and I did add a couple of other things in here that didn't really come with the mini album. I did create them out of this paper that was left, and a couple of tags and stuff like that, and I'll show you that. So let's get started. On the front of the cover, I did a lot of mixed media. I wanted a lot of texture, so what I did was I used some molding paste, I used some stencils and some paints, I used some spray. I did a lot of things on here. I did ink around everything with this inker. I thought, let's see what I did with it that came with the kit. It was a little chalk inker. I'm not quite sure where I put it, but it was a little eye, one of those eyes, and I did ink around with that brown around it. I added a piece of lace here, and then I started layering and just layering things. I love the look of that everybody's doing with the layering of the different, you know, things. So I added the crayons. These were all the stickers that came in the kit. What I did was I did cover them with some black cardstock. I laid them on top of some black cardstock, cut them out, and went around the edges of them and browned them up also. This piece right here is from the Tim Holtz mini. It's the mini on the. It's not the edge dies, but the ones that you can put in the silver plate. So I did do that, and then I put that on there. I did put a whole coat of gel medium on the top just to seal it, because people touch it so much, and I really wanted to just make sure that everything was down good and it wouldn't come off, so I did do that. So that was the front of the cover, and this did not come in the kit right here, and this did not, but it is from the boutique, and I did add this to it because it came with the kit the month before, and I had some left, so I utilized it here. So let's get started on the inside. The first thing I did was I had this little piece of, they were recollections pieces that I had laying around, and they were just these. And what I did was I just took the piece here and cut it off, because I wanted to make something to go in here, and I wanted like a little shaker pocket. So just cut it, and then what I didn't cut this down or anything. I just covered it up right here with this piece of paper that I used. So I put some did 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, and used this. This was a piece of ephemera that was in the kit. I cut it out and I attached it there, and it says, "A great teacher loves teaching others to love learning." So I put that there, and then I added some of these sequins that shake around, but doesn't seem like they're shaking very much in here, so I'm just going to kind of wriggle them around, and then there they are. But when you put them back in here, it just kind of seems like they all go down towards the end. But I did that, and on the back side of it, I just added a piece of paper to cover it. I wanted it to look nice on the back side, so I just put a piece of the paper out of the paper pad that came with that, and it was teacher's pad. And then I used a punch and made notebook paper. I used one of the pockets here that was in the kit. They look basically like this, and all I did was I covered it I used some of the paper that came in the kit. This was, I'm trying to think of which paper line this is. It's basil. Really nice paper. I love the texture. It's very sturdy. So I just did a bunch of layering here. I used a lot of my scraps when I cut pieces to make banners and little pieces, and I just started layering everything all around. Made a banner right here to come across here. And then inside this, there's two photos that they can opt to put photos on here, or they can journal on the back. And I left them black because I like the white gel pen when you journal. It just makes it look like a chalkboard, so that's why I left it like that. So there's these two right here that I did that goes inside. And then I'll stick these back in here. Then when you flip it over, there is another cover right here. I did the same thing here. I did use the stamp set that came with the kit, and I stamped the ruler that was in there on some yellow of the basil that I had, and then I cut it out and inked it up and then used that piece. And then I have two tags that I created here. Same thing on the back. They use a white gel pen. You can purchase them anywhere. They could write on the backs of them, and it looks like chalkboard, so I did leave them like that. And I added a couple of the pieces of the stickers that came in the kit, and I used some jute twine up here that was in my stash to create some bows. This was a vellum piece that came in the kit, and what I first did was I put a piece of the strip of the washi tape that came in the kit. I embossed this folder with the chicken wire, and then I took an ink, Timmy Holtz ink, and I just went back around everything on this. The other one went too dark, so I did use some Timmy, and this was brushed corduroy that I used. I did not like I didn't want it to be too dark. And if you look at the front of the cover, the chalk, the eye chalk was a little bit more deeper. So then I just added this ephemera out of the kit. This was some twine or some kind of ribbon or something that I had in my stash. I just pulled that out and stuck that out. The red rings around here, I have the mini tags and things, Tim Holtz die. I just cut those out and added them just to give it a little bit more character, so I put those on there. And then on this page right here, I took a piece of the paper. It's very simple. I cut that out, and I added some jute up at the top. That was in my stash. Another place for another picture right here. But I really, really like the way the chicken wire looks on there, and then some brown ink on there. So then on this page right here, I had a circle Biggs die, but it's just a Stampin' Up one, not a Stampin' Up one, but a one from Sussex. I just cut all of those out. It came with 4 different circles on there, a medium, small, and then this small one. This one was a punch that I had in my stash. I just kind of punched those out, and I added those all over the place. I inked it up with some of the Tim Holtz ink using the tape measure stencil from him. Did some stamping with some Tim Holtz ink on here, and I used the stamps that I did use. I used these, and you can talk to Edith about these. These were from the store. I believe they're stamped. I'm not sure if they're stamped Mendes. I'm not sure. I don't have a name on them, but I know they came from Edith's store, so I got those. Then I added a big circle here, scallop circle that I had. These are dies that I don't know how to tell you, but I haven't used these in ages. They're old school, but I just pulled them out just to incorporate them in the mixed media page, and I cut a banner and stuck that right there. I had an A, B, and C piece of wood. I just pulled those out, painted them black, and stuck them up there. So that could stick a circle picture right here. Then on this page, I just took, this is some stars that I had. These were from a spellbinder that I had here in my stash. Don't know where it came from. It's old. But I cut these 3 stars out of it, out of the paper line. And I had this apple that was there. And this is from the new Tim Holtz Thin Lit Dies right here, this piece. I had a tag. I stuck the tag under there, and then a little black tab right there from the mini tabs. I believe these are from the mini tab Tim Holtz. And I just stuck that there. I put some thread on there. Let's see if I pull it up, if you can see a close-up of the thread. So then there's plenty of room, and then you can slide pictures underneath. I left it all open. I cut one of these pages down and made a tag. Right here they can add a picture, they can journal on this, or they can journal on the back side, so I put that in there. Does not have much on there. I did ink with those same stamps I just told you about, and I used some of the Tim Holtz brushed corduroy on this. The reason why I used that was because I wanted it to be there, but I didn't want it to be prominent, and with that chalk that I had, it was so moist that I would have had to stamp 2 or 3 times to get this, so I just used that Tim Holtz inks. And you can get all of those from the boutique also. She sells every one of those. On this page right here, I just took a piece of the paper from the paper collection, cut out a banner, did a lot of layering on it, and then on the background I did some stamping, and I took some inks from Lindy's, which you can purchase from her also. These are the flat ones, and I just on the blue and yellow and the red, and I just kind of spurts them on there. So, and I just layered it just to give it a little bit of definition. So that's why I did a lot of the layering. But I love it because I've never really, like I said, I've never really done a mini album, mixed media. I've only done canvases and cards and things like that. So really am impressed with how the mini album looks, and I really like it. So on this one right here, I just did the same thing, but here on the background, I used some more Tim Holtz inks to do some stamping with those stamps. I used the Tim Holtz stencil again here, but this time I used some modeling paste. I used the light, I believe it's light modeling paste. I don't use the heavy because it takes so long to dry, so I like the light. So I used some of this light modeling paste right here. So I really, really like the way that came out on the background. It really pops. And I just did it in some spots. And then I did some layering with some, I had some punches. I punch out a lot of little things with paper that I have left and just throw them in a stack. And then I just use them when I see I want to put something on here. This is the only one I used. Everything else, I punched this out of our paper line and stuck it on there. And then I just kind of layered it up. And then I added this school bus that came in the sticker kit. So really, that was really cute too. So I put that on there. This is where I took a piece of acetate. This was not in the kit, but I wanted to add it. I wanted it to be mixed media. I wanted it to have different things. So that's why I took this piece of acetate. And what I did was I just cut out some I think these are 3x3 squares. And I attached them, and I used the corners that came with this mini album book and stuck them in there so they could just stick some little pictures there. They can slide the pictures up under here. This is not glued down. So you can see right here, if I took a piece of, if I took this, you could see you could go down on it. So you can go into it and everything. So like here, you go in there and stick the pictures in. So I put that picture there and that picture there. I did, to create this page, I took a couple of bottles that I had, and one of them was I believe it was this spritzer, and then I used one of the big ones like this, gloss gel one, and I put some paint down and just kind of and I went around in different circles just to give it some, texture and look. And I put it to the side and let it dry. I added this little mini tab right here to have another tab in here so that it would, kind of go with that tab there. I wanted a couple in there just for texture. So did that. And then on the back side, it's the same thing. I just covered the back so you can't see all that glue because I don't like the way that looks. And I put them in the same spots. They're just opposite colors, and then I added the same kind of labels. They can write a journal spot here, and then insert their picture, and it'll sit right there. And then on this page right here, I did a lot of, I used some inks. I used some drippage inks with this Bombay. I have it in the brown. It's somewhere around here, but I used that on here. And I used some Tim Holtz inks. I also used some of the chalk eye that came in the kit. I had a few pieces of this, trying to think of what you call this, canvas looking brown burlap. That's what I'm thinking. And I cut out 3 of the 3 flags out of it. It was big enough for that. And then I just layered them. And I colored a couple of them with some of the Lindy's red and yellow that I've been using throughout the book. I had some jute, so I added that jute that I had there. This was a scrap laying beside my desk, so I just used that to get rid of it. Added some layering up here and a little tag. And this one is that page. And then on the last page that goes in the book, I added some of the arrows from the Tim Holtz stencil with some of his Timmy inks. Did some stamping again with those stamps that I showed you. And I did a little bit of layering on this page and just added these things. And there's a tag here, and they have plenty of room to add a picture. So, and I used one of the paper clips that came in the kit. So on the back side, I haven't really done anything. I'm going to stamp my name here. But that is my mini album, and I sure hope that all of y'all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed working on it. I had a lot of fun with this. Please head over to Edith Scrapbooking with Me Boutique. If you're not a member, the information is going to be below in this email. So please go over there and subscribe. We also have a members room where we do a lot of fun things over there. We do some swaps. So please head on over there, and hope to see you there. Thanks. Bye-bye.